Stats had gone for a quick expansion himself. So Bisu, kind of losing an opportunity there. With Stats going for a very quick expansion, Bisu had an opportunity to move out and maybe roll over him while he was weak without many forces. But instead... Instead going for the DTs. That one DT's camped on the ramp there is not... Oh, it's going to get picked off very quickly. Oh, doesn't even manage to kill off that Dragoon. And Stats looks like he might be... He sent a probe out there. He might be sending that probe out for a third base in the top right-hand corner. Second DT is sneaking in, though, but the second observer is out. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why he was able to get that expansion up, because he couldn't... Stats couldn't leave his base until he had that second observer to protect. And now Bisu is in a bad position here. He's kind of pinned in his base. Stats knows it, so he's going to build that third base, and there's nothing Bisu can really do about it. Bisu having to build cannons to defend without a ton of forces. He does have those High Templar out, though, so he's going to be able to defend with High Templar. Eventually, he's got those cannons coming up just for some extra forces. Stats does not appear to be sending his extra forces to that location, though. He's just fighting with those forces he has. The storm goes off, missing most of the units, just getting one Dragoon and not really doing too much extra damage. He's outnumbered in Dragoons. Another storm going off, finishing off that Dragoon, but again, not doing terrible amount of damage. But at this point, he just doesn't have any forces. He doesn't really have a choice. Looks like he's going to keep those Templar back and let them build up energy as opposed to making an Archon. I think that's a smart move. He can afford to just kind of defend a little bit here with those cannons. Once there's larger forces in play, those storms are going to be more effective, but kind of wasting his storms there on single Dragoons there, not terribly efficient. Bisu now getting his own observatory so he can move out just in case Stats had gone for Templar, which it looks like he has. He got the robotics support bay though, so that's interesting. I'm not sure. Now he's got the Templar archives. Maybe he got that and he decided to switch over and not actually get any Reavers. It's hard to say. Anyway, but Stats now getting a third base up in the top right-hand corner, and there's nothing Bisu can do about it. He's got Stats has complete map control, and he's just going to out-macro Bisu right now, is what it looks like. Bisu now with only 4 gateways. Stats has the 4 gateways as well, but he's building 2 more. He's going to be able to start producing more units with those. And he's got the double gas expansion on the top right, so if it comes down to a matter of, Templar and gas units, Stats going to have a major advantage, although usually PvP isn't necessarily that gas-heavy. Usually have about enough minerals and gas from each base with 1 gas mine to get get enough Dragoons and plenty of Templar and such. Anyway, Stats actually building Archons now with his High Templar. Very interesting. I mean, maybe he's counting on the fact that he has that extra gas. He has the extra gas. He can make Templar instead of Dragoons and Zealots or what have you, and with the extra gas, he can really have those Archons are going to be much more powerful, especially against enemy Zealots. They're going to be able to survive storms better and that kind of thing. Now, this is the point in the game where Bisu can still come back into this, and this is exactly how... he was in a position similar to this against... Oh, who was that? Who was that in the OSL... Another Protoss player, I forgot. I'll figure it out in a minute here. But anyway, he was able to come back into it just by superior well, he actually did just about the same amount of harassment. This is a part of a PvP where it turns down to harassment a lot. Both players will try and do storm drops. And, let's see, Bisu versus Pure. Yes, it was Bisu versus Pure. And Bisu beat Pure in the Proleague playoffs, actually, on this map, nonetheless, by kind of equaling the harassment. I think Bisu might have even gotten harassed a little bit more, but he survived it a little bit better. And then having superior army placement in the big battle, just got into Pure's natural expansion and just had such superior placement and such superior storms that he managed to win that battle and win the game regardless. So Bisu's not quite out of this yet, and he is going to have to start doing some storm drops or something though. Otherwise, he's just going to get completely out macroed with Stats having 50% extra production over him. And Bisu's trying to catch up with that third base at the 6 o'clock position, but it's not going to have the double gas. Bisu's going to be way behind on gas, so he's really going to have to stretch his gas out and make it count. And look at this. Stats with more Dragoons, more Zealots. Bisu not with really any Zealots at all. He's only got those 3 Templar. If something happens to those Templar, if those Templar got sniped without casting perfect storms, Bisu's going to get totally screwed, but because he is just way behind. Some Zealots running in to reinforce as well. Look at that. And Stats has more Templar, more Zealots, few less Dragoons. So Bisu is going to theoretically be able to micro his army a little bit, fall back away from those Zealots, and accomplish more that way. I think I just heard a Psystorm, but I don't know where it was. Anyway, maybe I'm just tripping. But yeah, so Bisu is really going to be in trouble here. Stats taking out 4th base now, putting down a bunch of pylons and cannons. And that's actually going to be really good if Bisu does attack that base. The Zealots will not be able to surround those cannons as easily with those pylons around it, and Dragoons will attack the pylons first. Due to the AI, that they won't attack the cannons until, or the units until they are attacked themselves, or unless they're microed in there. I think that's how it works. Maybe they will attack the cannons. I know that the Dragoons coming in from the back will start attacking the pylon though, instead of the units. Anyway, Single Zealot's going to run in here and see this base. He sees it's up and mining and really strong. He's now going to realize how far behind he is. I don't think he knew that base was there yet. He thought he wasn't that bad of trouble, but now he realizes, oh crap, I'm a base behind. Bisu's going to try and set up a 4th base in that bottom left-hand corner. Might get shut down though. Some forces going in here. Here comes the big battle. Storms going off all over everything. Tons of Psystorms being cast on both players' armies. Just so many Zealots coming in there. If he can manage to hold off those Zealots, this is the point where the superior Dragoon count would come in handy, micro against those Zealots, but he doesn't have superior Dragoon count. He just has less units in general. Bisu being forced back to his expansion. Reinforcements coming in here. A nice storm goes off, hitting a lot of the Zealots, softening them up, and just a clutch wave of Zealots coming in to reinforce is going to help Bisu fight this off. Barely, I think he's going to be able to fight this off. He may not, though. Stats sending in reinforcements as well. The KT coach is cheering there. They know he has a major advantage there, but he might be able to kill off this base. If Bisu does not reinforce and save this base, he's going to lose. And Bisu, with his 3rd base in jeopardy and no forces to reinforce that location, GG's, types out, loses the 2nd game in a row for SK Telecom 1. Wow, and I think they just crushed a nut representing SK Telecom 1. And you can read whatever jokes into that you wish to. But wow, KT going up 2-0 against SKT1. Absolutely amazing. Wow, Bisu just getting shut down. And it just all came down to, I mean, SKT1 is losing because they're being cheeky. I mean, just play straight up, guys, and you've got a better chance at this because KT is ready for you. They're not going to let you slip by with something cheesy in the finals. They're going to be